Been a little bit since I've covered this guy. Think Before You Sleep, incel extraordinaire. I think he's actually married, so I don't know if it's like proper to call him an incel, but he definitely carries that energy. And I feel sorely sorry for any woman that he was able to somehow convince to sleep with him. Anyway, he's got a video called Why Language is Being Destroyed from about a month ago, and it stuck out to me because I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to tackle this right now. I'm in a good headspace for this. You can see here a woman next to a picture of somebody who is presumably identifying as a woman. So, you know, we'll take a look and see what's going on here. Why language is being destroyed,
locally
folks.
and across the country have been railing on Governor Tony Evers' desire to make some parts of state law gender neutral. Evers proposed changes to a section of state law about artificial insemination. Husband, man, mother, and father would be replaced with terms like person, spouse, and inseminated person.
So it changed. If under the supervision of a licensed physician and with the spouse's consent of her husband is crossed off, a person is inseminated artificially as provided in par, with semen donated by a person who is not the spouse of the person being inseminated, the spouse of the inseminated person of the... This seems fine. Like, it's more specific, right? Like, it's more specific. Like, this seems like a nothing problem to me. Effectively, it's the same law. It's just more clear language. I failed to see the issue, personally. I don't like gendered terms in my laws, okay? I don't like that. I don't like it when laws refer to gender. Let's not do that.
Why? Who asked for this? Did anyone ask for this? Ironically, this is coming from the establishment left because I couldn't think of anything more misogynistic than...
The establishment left. This video's from a month ago. Your guys run everything right now.
A woman an inseminated person.
In all my time in and around...
That is literally what's happening. No, you're talking about inseminating a person. We're not referring to all women like that, just the ones who have been inseminated.
Politics, this is probably the dumbest proposal that I've seen. If I called my mother an inseminated person, she'd probably slap me.
Right.
Okay, well, that's your problem. Your mother abused you growing up.
Right. Inseminated person sounds like what you would call livestock or cattle.
Dude, let me give you guys a red flag. Dudes with mommy issues, okay? Dudes with mommy issues, not even once. And I say that as a dude who has a couple of mommy issues, okay? I'm sorry. Like, that's where I come from. That's my roots. Take it from somebody who knows the game. Don't date dudes with mommy issues. Just, it's not worth it.
It's dehumanizing. I mean, this is so ironically prejudiced based on what the establishment left traditionally finds offensive.
Katie is
that
truly
it reminds
a treasure.
me of the movie Black Panther, which is supposed to be like the DEI superhero movie where they're like, we're finally being represented. But the writers take a super advanced culture of African Americans and have them live in huts, throw spears, make gorilla noises, have them live in huts.
But like it's fine to live like this. Like you don't, if this is culturally what you do, like you don't need more than this sometimes. Like I just, like it's, I don't know. Like I don't care. I don't care.
Huts, throw spears, make gorilla noises.
Also, the gorilla noises thing is literally just like cultural. That literally is just cultural. Who cares?
The main character gets his power from purple Kool-Aid, and at the end, when they go to a black neighborhood to share their technology, the first impulse of the young black characters is to steal it and take it to a chop shop.
Well, there's like real racism happening, man. Like, there's real racism happening. This just isn't part of it. Like, if anything, like, this movie was very liberal in that, like, the solution, like, the bad guy, it's one of those, like, the bad guy actually had a good point videos that, or, sorry, not videos. The bad guy had a good point movies where, like, it's just, like, not addressed very well at the end. It's like, we didn't address, like, the point that what was the bad guy's name? Killmonger. Like, we didn't address that. Like, we kind of did, but it's a half measure. It's a liberal half measure. But yeah, we got racism on top of the transphobia. Good stuff.
Man, what the hell is that? That's like a Bugatti spaceship.
Bro, it came out of nowhere. Did y'all see that?
Hey, look, we can break it apart. We can sell it
on eBay.
Like, they're trolling, right? I couldn't believe that this stuff was in the movie. So this whole calling mothers an inseminated person is just more of that. They spend 5 decades arguing that stuff like this is...
Wait, we just related Black Panther to calling mothers inseminated people? That's a stretch and a half, brother. Like, I'm ADHD as shit, but even I wouldn't go that far.
Meaning to women, and yet now they do everything they can to create a language and culture that demeans women.
More women involved in creating video games. Women feel threatened by depictions of attractive women. We get this. That's like one screenshot, man. It's like one still. Like, sometimes women look weird in video games. Like, what? It's just not a problem. Like, I'm just confused.
Men.
Evers wants to change other parts of state law as well. One state Republican lawmaker counting at least 30 times mother is replaced with a gender-neutral term.
Such an odd culture.
Father subbed out more than 120 times.
Such a primitive culture, this conservative thing. You know, it's a primitive culture. Their skull shapes are not quite up to the capacity to carry the same neuronal workload that the rest of us do. Just interesting biological facts about these people.
So this all seems kind of strange. Legislators changing common words and concepts that have been in language since the beginning of time. And I think that certainly anyone who's read the book or seen the movie 1984.
By the way, their amygdalas are literally like inflated, so you know, like your amygdala, like conservatives literally, like in studies, have shown to have larger amygdalas. And if you don't know what that basically means that they're scared as shit about everything all the time and anxious, like anxiety-ridden pieces of shit. Like they're just constantly worried that like a black dude is gonna come and steal their wives and daughters or whatever, or like they're not gonna be able to enjoy a football game without like seeing an ad that supposes that black people are sometimes not in the best circumstances, or like an interracial couple. Where was I going with this? I don't even remember.
Knows that authoritarian forces will purposefully try to scramble the language, but there isn't a lot of discussion around why specifically that's being done and how it causes people to respond. I feel like that's important because people only seem to understand this on a basic level. For example, I think most people who have spent more than 5 seconds paying attention to culture over the past few years can figure out that the reason the governor of Wisconsin gives for why he wants to change the word mother to inseminated person is a lie.
We're working for the families in Wisconsin, especially those that are receiving IVF services, and making sure that we can make certain that the mom is able to get the services she deserves.
I'm not going to pretend to be a lawyer here, but assuming that the term mother does not include in vitro, which seems untrue, then I'm sure there are a bunch of different ways to include in vitro.
Well, yeah, because like if the person who is mothering the child does not identify as like she, her, or like a mother, you know, like maybe it's a they, them, baddie, and like they are a partner, you know, like that's not technically mother. So like, you know, we're just clarifying the language. It's just like making it more specific. We're just making it more specific. Like, yeah, we want to be as inclusive as possible. It's really not complicated.
I'm not going to pretend to be a lawyer here, but assuming that the term mother does not include in vitro, which seems untrue, then I'm sure there are a bunch of different ways to include in vitro without replacing the word mother. This is obvious gaslighting, and I don't think that it takes much brain power to figure out that the real reason they want to say inseminated person instead of mother is because they want to say that men can get pregnant without identifying them as trans. So I think
Wisconsin governor vetoes transgender high school athletics ban. Like, I just, like, I think that's a good thing, though. Like, I think that trans children deserve to be allowed to play sports. So, like, I think that banning, like, literal, like, high school children from, like, being able to do sports is kind of shitty. So, like, I just, you know, I think it's a good thing that he did that.
I think people get this on a basic level, but what I don't see a lot of is understanding of the more under-the-surface reasons for why these grifters will cling to these changes that nobody wants and call everyone who criticizes them liars.
You can count on this being, you know, something that the Republicans are becoming very good at, and that is lying.
That's how you know they're full of shit.
True.
When they start blaming the other party.
He seems pretty cool. Who is he? He's the Wisconsin's governor? He seems pretty based.
Instead of addressing the issue, because the reality is that all of you are assholes.
I also find it rich that all of the sudden the other side has some problem with successful businessmen being involved in politics.
I can't believe that the other side has problems with like me with daddy's money, spending it on lobbies for things that I like. I just don't understand.
Whenever you guys are the party of George Soros, of Bill and Melinda Gates, of Sheryl Sandberg, of Mackenzie.
You have the richest on the entire face of the goddamn planet in the history of the human species on your side in the White House constantly. Spare me the bullshit. George Soros my ass, okay? Where's my Soros check? Where is it? Okay? If he's so great, he'd be paying me for this shit, but he's not, okay? Saki Tanuki is. That's basically it. Okay, I'm running in the negative on this. Dubsy's charging out the ass. Sorry, it's just true. And like, I can't keep up with demand. But no, you have the real problems, right? Like, Elon Musk is not cutting it for you, I guess.
Bezos, of Taylor Swift, of so many other
I love you,
billionaires
Dubsy.
across the country, as well as every woke, weird pervert in Hollywood. I find this incredibly disingenuous.
I've lived long enough to see that politics doesn't really attract a lot of honest people.
That was like you're showing that to like be a good thing? Like, okay.
Both sides have some shit going on, which is really frustrating because it makes it hard to champion
Both
the people
sides,
who represent
definitely
your
both
beliefs.
sides.
The point
True.
is that anyone who is a good speaker or a good writer...
He's a centrist, by the way. He's a centrist. Just don't ever speak about trans people around him or he'll turn into Adolf Hitler, but otherwise he's a centrist.
knows that words have meaning beyond their dictionary definition. Each word or phrase has a specific emotion attached to it, and if you want to be an effective communicator, then you have to understand the emotions that different people are going to feel when you use certain words. Otherwise, they won't listen to you or follow your cause, and this is a part of the reason why words are being messed with and changed. Politicians certainly know the importance of the emotion behind a word, which is why
I think the thing that annoys me more than like anything else is just like he just thinks he's so smart, you know, like he's like, I'm gonna give you advice on life and stuff. Like I don't know, it's just pretentious.
Why they use the same 5 buzzwords over and over again to rile up their voter base. When you say things like abortion, hate speech, universal health care, Nazi, the Constitution, social justice, or traditional values,
I have never heard a Democrat say social justice. I'm sure it's happened. I just like, especially like in the last couple of years, I have not heard that. Not since like social justice warrior became a meme. Like before woke, hey kids, before woke, there was social SJWs, social justice warriors. Okay, blue-haired SJWs. Some people say they did exist. I tend to take the agnostic stance. I'm not sure. But that's what we used to have, is what they say. Like, I've never heard a Democrat say that, personally. But, like, the Constitution is pretty important, I feel like.
Evoke certain memories and emotions in people. When you say the word mother, you might get a warm feeling, you might get the feeling that it's someone who cares about you, or you might remember a good experience that you had with your mom.
Hippies,
the term
yep.
inseminated person feels cold, disgusting, and emotionless in kind of a scientific...
Wait, this is an entirely feelings-based argument. Your fifis are hurt. You're just saying your fifis are hurt. No. You're like, no. Mother feels warm and inviting. Inseminated person feels gross and disgusting and scientific. And it's like, it's literally a law. It's not a storybook, man. It's not there to make you feel good. It's there to be specific and set guidelines in place. Okay? So stupid.
Scientific and descriptive sort of way. Like I said, it's dehumanizing, and bad things tend to come after people using dehumanizing language.
Dehumanizing.
So not only are these 1984 style...
It's an inseminated person that is one-to-one accurate for what describes this person, okay? Regardless of how they identify their gender. Regardless, like you're just upset about trans people. You're just mad at trans people, okay? That's what it always comes back to.
Word games designed to strip emotions from words or make them more inconvenient to say by adding 4 additional syllables to a 2-syllable concept.
I can't believe the trans people.
But also the people who
How
play
dare
these
they?
games will add emotions to previously meaningless
How
terms
dare they
like
try to
diversity and
exist?
inclusion, which have a lot more to do with excluding people so you can surround yourself with only those who agree with you.
Excluding people. They're excluding people, not us. We're not doing that.
Makes
They
everyone
are.
more accepting of things like this.
It's very dangerous, Chuck, because a lot of what you're seeing as attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Quite possibly the most unscientific opinion that I've ever heard.
What are the ways you can...
Hold on.
A lot of what you're seeing...
How did Dr. Fauci come into this?
Surround yourself with only those who agree with you, and that makes everyone more accepting of things like this.
It's very dangerous, Chuck, because a lot of what you're seeing as attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Okay, context needed, because if he's talking about like, listen, this is the fact that I am laying out that the science says, and then somebody's like, no, f*** you, and then they start attacking you because of that thing that you said. Yes, The attacks on you would in fact be also attacks on science. Yeah. I mean, like, I understand why you're clip farming it, but like, you know, it's not that scary when you put more than 2 seconds of thought into it.
Quite possibly the most unscientific opinion that I've ever heard.
What are the ways you can clearly see that something is a psyop? First, you're not allowed to question anything.
Don't copyright strike
And Fauci so often contradicted himself during COVID that one of his cronies actually thought to make it a crime to criticize them.
Yeah, they lied about the masks at first because they like didn't want people to like go and buy them or some shit. It was stupid and they shouldn't have done it, okay? I get it, but like, yeah, they also worked where people used them. So like eventually they came out and said, yeah, we need masks, and people wore them most of the time, hopefully, and it helped mitigate the spread and fewer people died. Hopefully. Like, it was just a safety precaution. They're not trying to like brain control you or whatever.
There's a local doctor who's become a household name. He's been urging people
Dr.
to get
Fauci.
COVID vaccines.
Dr.
And he's
Fauci.
also developing vaccines. We're talking about this man right here, Dr. Peter
not Dr.
Hotez.
Fauci.
And because of his fame, he's also a frequent target for critics. But should that vaccine criticism or outright threats be classified as a hate crime? Dr. Hotez thinks...
I would say yeah. No, I think so. I think, honestly, we've reached a point in society now, which is very sad. But I think that we do need to classify scientists and researchers as like a protected class. Think about it. Like, literally, they're under attack constantly. I would 1000% be in favor of considering like researchers. Honestly, can we make it illegal to be conservative at this point? I wish, man.
Thinks that option should be on the table.
The right words were so harmful to these people that they were going to try to put you in jail for angry emails. And you can see why, because Fauci and his group of cronies were essentially committing...
No, not going to jail for free speech. The conservatives would never do that. I'm sure if I like brought that up, he'd be like, well, I do agree that Mahmoud Khalil, or whatever his name is, Mahmoud Khalil, sorry. I think that what they did to him was wrong, but like I never talk about it ever at all. And I do believe in free speech, but like I just mean that like on the Twitter platform when I can't say the N-word. Like that's what I mean when I say that.
Committing treason in 2020. And one of the ways evil people hide doing these were essentially committing treason in 2020. And one of the ways evil people hide doing evil things is by taking simple ideas and needlessly making them more complex.
Really intelligent people have the capacity to explain
Who's this?
things that might seem complex in a very simple way.
Smart people make complex ideas simple, stupid people make simple ideas complex, and dishonest people make simple ideas more complex on purpose. For example, we have two basic concepts.
You know what's not complex at all? Inseminated person, okay? Guess what is complex? The concept of motherhood. And I'll give you one reason, okay? Because you can be an adopted mother. Ever thought about that? Okay? So when we say the word mother, it can mean a couple of things, at least two. The person who birthed you, or the person who is raising you, who could be completely different people. So it is at least more complex than inseminated person. That is a more clear understanding of the law. It is not that complicated. You are complicating it.
Male and female.
Dumbass.
Easy, right? Except not anymore, because now there are like 1,000 genders that are being thrust upon children who aren't even old enough to count.
This is Ari, Gwendolyn, and Brinifer. They are in a polyamorous relationship, and they all parent Hazel and Sparrow.
We have a 2-year-old anti-gender baby and a 10-year-old who is non-binary.
No.
What's anti-gender? That sounds cool.
Nobody knows what that means. Certainly the children...
Non-binary is not that hard. There are some people who don't know what it means, but it just means that you don't conform to being a boy or a girl.
Children don't actually know these concepts well enough to understand the consequences of their choices. And the issue with confusing children about their sexual identity is that it's very likely to rob them of healthy relationships.
I'm not comfortable with my trans wife breastfeeding our son. How can we resolve the... Who cares? What? Who cares? I'm not comfortable. Okay, why not? Okay, so this person was feeling dysphoric because, like, she was watching her wife breastfeed their child. Okay, like, you guys got to work that out, you know, like, I understand. Yeah, communicate, maybe, like, figure out, like, I don't care. Like, if you can suck on one of your mom's tits, you can suck on the other mom's tit. Who cares?
That's from mentally stable people who don't require that someone memorize like 30 different awkward pronouns before they talk to them.
These polyamorous parents let their children choose their gender.
They're anti-gender, but we're using they, them pronouns. Sure, they have anatomy, we understand it, but like that's not indicative of their identity. It's something that Sparrow's going to have to figure out and then tell us before we can tell anyone else.
Particularly because it's, you know, something.
I will say my personal opinion of like, because I thought about it, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going to have kids one day. And honestly, like, I'm just going to go with like traditional gender stuff. Okay. It's like, that's what society is right now. And I would be doing my children, I personally feel that I would be doing my children a disservice by trying to convince them that that is not the way society is. I feel like this family, they're not hurting their kids. They're teaching their kids as best they can. And, you know, I don't know their lives. Maybe they're like, maybe this is like totally functional and fine. But like, I feel like I probably am going to just raise my kids to be either a boy or a girl based on what they're assigned at birth. And then if they want to switch that at some point, I'll be like, yeah, sure. I don't want to judge it. Like, it's not a problem. It's just like, I don't want to, I would do it differently.
Something that our parents did, and they gotta
forgive my ignorance, but trans women can lactate exactly the same, right? Yeah, if they take the hormones for it, sure.
Wrong.
Right. Just because you decided differently means that we need to change a process that is correct for over 99% of people.
That number is decreasing every day. You know, like it's 1.7% of people don't identify with the gender they were born with, and like they're closer to the ideal society than most people are. You know, like in an ideal society, you just wouldn't be assigned a gender until you pick one, or there wouldn't be one. There wouldn't be a concept of one because it's useless. Gender's useless. Okay. Like it's only served to divide us. I don't believe in it. Like it's stupid. It's antiquated and we should get rid of it. So they're living in the future and I respect them for that.
Not only that, but instead of having the incredibly small number of outliers who don't end up identifying with their biological sex find out how to adapt in their own way, we all now have to disrupt a ton of different processes when it comes to how we interact with people and change all of our policies on how we teach kids by telling them that
teaching gender identity in kindergarten, you already know what gender identity is by the time you're 4. You know gender identity. It came free with your being a human. Like you understand the difference between boy and girl by the time you're 4. By the time you're 2. By the time you're 4 is when you identify with one or the other. Like we already enforce gender before you're born. Before, like we find out what your gender is based upon the genitalia we see when you're in utero. And then we start like doing the gender thing. Okay, 6 years old is like not crazy. I think it's just rage bait. No, he's a very popular channel. So like I feel like it's necessary. Even if it is rage bait, it's like he's shilling this as though it's real. So like even if like teaching gender identity is not a bad thing to do. Let's just read it. Can I just say that my 6-year-old came home from kindergarten telling me he identifies as a girl because he likes pretty things because he's learning about gender identity in class. I'm not judging the comment or anything to do with what the statement actually means, but honestly, I don't think he really understands exactly what that means yet. I just found it interesting. Knowing my kid and what he has been exposed to thus far, I don't think he understands gender differences enough to identify as anything but a 6-year-old. I guarantee he doesn't identify as any gender right now, but that's just my own observational opinion, and he's very moldable by suggestion right now. Just reminded me of it while reading this thread. I don't buy this. Like, your child knows the difference between boy and girl. And as soon as your child found out, wow, I can be the other thing, they decided they were. They can do that at 6, okay? I know that that's like a bizarre concept to some people, but this is a real thing that happens. You know, and it's not super common, but it does happen. And it's best to just, like, affirm their identity.
That a guy can be a girl and a girl can be a guy, biologically. Not socially, biologically. Seriously, basically
Yes.
Everyone was fine with transgendered people, and nobody had a problem with them until they started going after children, and until
they got uppity and started wanting to exist around people. Until they wanted to start integrating into society and being considered like a valuable part of our structured society. Like until we perceived them. They were fine until we perceived them, then they were a problem.
insisting that everyone be forced to cater to them. And again, it's not just about the difference between the words sex and gender.
Dude, think about when the last time you saw a piece of media that had like a trans person in it. I literally can't think of like any. Like I can't. Like it's like unless the story is, well, actually One Piece does. But like besides that, like it literally is so rare, like it just might as well not exist. Like, and One Piece is well beloved. Like people love One Piece, so I'm glad that they put trans people in it. And more pieces of media should put trans people in it because none of them do. And Disney was going to, but then they pussied out because Donald Trump is our Lord and Savior now, right? Good stuff. Like, this is not a real problem, man. You're just bitching about nothing.
Oh, they mean different things.
Pathetic worm,
Sex
man.
is your biology and gender is how you choose to identify. Bullshit. These terms have always been interchangeable to be congruent with biological reality.
Correct.
And if they're going to say that sex is different from gender, then why do so many of them care what sex is on their passport?
I applied for a passport earlier this month, and this is how.
Why does the government have to know what my genitalia look like? How about we just get rid of, like, the government knowing which set of genitals we have? I mean, like, let's be real here. Like, they can know my name. They can know how old I am. They can know that I live here. They can know my income so that they can collect taxes from me. Whatever. But do they really have to know what my privates look like? Like, let's be real. I'm just saying.
How it's going so far. Not great. Basically, they were saying that my gender marker that I was requesting was not what was matching my biological sex at birth, which is a very inaccurate, elementary way of looking at gender and sex.
Correct.
In the past week or so, I've seen at least 10 videos or articles about people crashing out because their biological sex was accurately put on their passport, which shouldn't be a problem, right?
Why does the government know what your privates look like? Why is that their business? Think, man. Think for like 2 seconds about this. You're living in the Matrix, okay? Conservatives have no idea that they're the ones in the Matrix, okay? They have no clue. The Matrix was literally written by trans women. Did you know that? Okay? The Matrix is gender. You are a gender cuck. You are living in the Matrix. Wake up! Take the red pill.
Because the passport
It's
says
time.
sex, not gender. I thought
Wake
these
the
people only cared
up.
about gender. And God forbid that person goes to the doctor and they start getting treated for the wrong disease because they told the doctor the wrong biological sex. So it's
Well,
not
that
just about
doesn't
the difference
happen.
between gender and sex.
That doesn't happen. When does that happen? I've never heard of this. Give me like a case study where like somebody got the wrong kind of treatment because they're like the doctor couldn't figure out which sex they were because it wasn't on their birth certificate. Like, what are you talking about? That's not real. This is fake. You made this up. This is like actual, like, just making shit up time. Like, you are doing that.
God forbid that person goes to the doctor and they start getting treated for the wrong disease because they
Unbelievable.
told the doctor the wrong biological sex. So it's not just about
Like
the difference
what?
between gender and sex.
Like what disease?
This is about blurring the lines and expanding the definition of the term biological sex to try to bend reality and get people to accept shit like this.
Oh no. Trans and gender diverse people deserve to feel safe. Agreed. Okay, I think the bad part's coming up. Hold on, just hold on 1 second. I think the really bad part's coming up.
Contrary to this ad, most women are not accepting of this. If the average...
I think most women are actually accepted. Like, you transition straight from like trans and gender diverse people deserve to feel safe. I guess like technically it's in sports ball, so whatever. But like, yeah, no, like this is a true statement and that's fine. And trans people deserve to feel safe while they play sports ball. I agree.
Picture is worth 1,000 words, then this picture of a biological male being ousted by the biological women is worth 10,000
What place did she come in? What place did Leah Thomas come in? I'm just curious.
words. Women are not okay with their hard work being ruined by cheaters.
Wait, she is in first place here, actually. Oh, good job, Leah Thomas.
And no amount of gaslighting.
But like, okay, here's the thing, right? Even if Leah Thomas won a couple of times, don't you think she would win like every time? Like, she should be blowing them all out of the water, like, so to speak, right? Like, how did she tie fifth place with what's her face? Republican makeup girl. What's her name? Riley Gaines. Why would she, like, how could she come fifth place with Riley Gaines if like she's so like beyond the pale, if she's like so past the level of like these other inferior creatures that we call women, you know? Like, I don't understand.
Or avoiding taking a stance from popular public figures is going to change that.
This is in Scientific American. Yeah.
Not Bill Maher. Dude, nobody likes Bill Maher. Nobody likes Bill Maher. Nobody. Like, this doesn't prove anything.
Here we go.
Do
Inequity
you like Bill
between
Maher?
male and female athletes is the result not of inherent biological differences between the sexes, but of biases in how they are treated in sports. That's nuts. Scientific American is saying
wait, what was his
basically
response?
that the reason why an WNBA team can't beat the Lakers is because of societal bias.
He literally doesn't even know that gender has been a social term to refer to social roles and characteristics across the globe since the 15th century. It's insane. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for 45 biddies. Appreciate you.
A team can't beat the Lakers is because of societal bias.
Well, that's a big part of it. Like, we looked at the graph, right? Here, hold on. 800-meter freestyle, right? In 1940, men had the record at 10 minutes, about 10 minutes. And then in we'll just say 1970, women also had that record, okay? So to me, it just seems like they're kind of behind. Like, given enough time, like, it does level out here, to be fair, but like, given enough time, and mind you, women's and men's sports are not equal yet. Like, they're not equal. They don't get paid the same. They don't have the same kind of facilities. They don't have the same quality of training, nothing. Like, it is all about men's sports all the time. So like, I feel like given the amount of time and consideration, I'm not saying they would necessarily beat the top man, but they could get pretty close, I feel like. Let's really look at this. You know what I mean? It's not inconceivable that social issues are at play here.
Saying is not Scientific American says that. An editor for Scientific American says that, who no longer has the job. So don't indict a 170-year-old magazine because somebody...
Okay, this is called Scientific American, and they're printing something
because someone enters the cesspool that is social media and then participates in that exchange. So
why can't you
let's talk about science?
Why can't you just say this is not scientific and scientific?
When are we going to get to the real controversy? Why are we allowing Thomas the Tank Engine to normalize the transhumanist agenda with trans men?
Stupid. Thank you very much for 5 tier 1 gifted subs, Sakazuki. Appreciate you. Oh no, I know that voice is the rational outlaw. Black Panther movie is very racist, but even if it wasn't, that wouldn't get rid of the illogically inconsistencies in liberalism. Is it racist? Okay, I can't comment on whether or not it's racist. I just I don't think that it was perceived as racist by most people. The Constitution, I actually enjoy rights. So, hello, Demon Dragon Slayer.
Americans should do better.
That was like a year ago. Was it? Which one was a year ago?
I think a year ago, women still couldn't beat men in basketball or any other sport. And it wasn't.
Okay, then explain to me why a woman, you just have to account for this, right? Explain to me, why a woman from 2015 could beat a man from 1970. You can't tell me that, they've gotten that much better. It doesn't make any sense. Are you guys catching what I'm saying? If it's really that drastic of a difference, why are we now seeing the same times in women that we saw in men 40 years ago? You know, it can't be there's got to be something else at play besides just biology. There has to be.
Because of society. You don't see a problem.
By the way, long distance swimming, women might actually have the advantage. You can look into that.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when people used to respect Neil deGrasse Tyson 10 years ago. It was a good day when he showed up on a Joe Rogan episode. Now he's just an obvious paid shill who refuses to answer basic questions when it's politically
unlike Joe Rogan, who, is all on the up and up.
Inconvenient. And don't think the trans stuff is the only time where they've tried to expand the definition of words. It's done almost constantly to promote an agenda. For example, racial tension in the 90s and the 2000s was at an all-time low, which is bad because racial tension makes grifters like Al Sharpton or Robin DiAngelo a lot of money, and it helps certain politicians get voted in.
Unlike people on the conservative side who famously never grift or make money off of anything that they do. Certainly not a very lucrative detransitioner grift going on at the moment as we speak. Or a disenfranchised female athlete who was bested by a fake woman who tied 5th place with me. Oh no! Oh no, heavens! Oh no, this is bad. This is society breaking shit, man.
So in the 2010s, they invented the term microaggressions and told people that it was deeply racist to ask a person where they're from, which didn't really stick, but what did...
It is just a weird thing that white people do sometimes. They look at people with brown skin and are like, I must know where this person was birthed. It's just what if they might have just been born here like you? It's just a weird question to ask. It's not just asking where are you from. It's the implication is what country did you come from? And people did do that, okay? Like, let's not pretend.
Stick is that stereotypes became racist, and since the 2010s, if you say things like certain races like certain types of food, you're basically Hitler now. But before this time, stereotypes were never considered racist, which is why jokes like this in Family Guy existed, despite the creator being very on the left.
I too will be abstinent.
The creator is a liberal. Like, no, he is not very on the left. Seth MacFarlane is fine, but not, like, great.
Be as untouched as the turn signal in an Asian woman's car.
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lane? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else.
And by definition, stereotyping is not racist because traditionally when I was a kid, before the term was expanded, we were taught that racism required the belief that other races were inferior to your race, which then means that those inferior races deserve to be dehumanized and have freedom stripped away or violence done to them. Saying that Indian street food should probably have better hygiene standards is not racist, but saying that
I just, like, racism is built upon stereotypes. Like, what do you mean? Hold on. By definition, stereotyping is not racist. No. Racism is built upon stereotypes. You build a stereotype of a black person. You educate the white populace that the black man and woman is inferior, and then you subjugate them. It is built upon a stereotype. That's how subjugation works. Like, that's how you have to sell it to the public, or else they'll just be like, why? Like, it would, like, it's a necessity when you're subjugating somebody.
Because traditionally, when I was a kid, before the term was expanded, we were taught that racism required the belief that other races were inferior to your race, which then means that those inferior races deserve to be dehumanized.
Well, it can also mean that, like, you just think that, like, all races should live separately or whatever the fuck. Like, there are various interpretations. Usually it comes from a place of thinking that other races are inferior. But, like, if you look at the black, what are they, the black Zionists or whatever? The black Hebrews? Is that what it is? The black, I can't remember. It's some kind of, like, black Jewish group, but they're, like, super, like, racist. And they, like, agree with white supremacists that we need ethno-states. So, like, you can have racism, like wanting people to be separated by their race is racism. It's the separate but equal shit.
And have freedom stripped away or violence done to them.
Black Hebrew Israelites, thank you.
Saying that Indian street food should probably have better hygiene standards is not racist, but saying that certain races are inferior.
Dude, if they're washing their hands, it's, like, not that bad. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry, it's fine.
Because their brains are smaller and therefore they should be treated as lower class citizens is racist. There's an important difference. And just like the word racism, they've changed the definition of a ton of words.
Is that an AI picture? No, that's a video. I'm just an idiot.
Like immigrant or rights to include a vast number of things that they didn't include before. And the final thing that these changes of wording and definitions are designed to do is destroy traditional ideas that work and turn everyone into useless people who will follow and do whatever they're told because they can't do anything for themselves.
Find a real problem to worry about, man. It's just being more specific. It's like, okay, what do we mean by mother? We mean the person who was inseminated. That's what we mean, and that is the specific language we will use. It's just not a problem. Like, why are you bitching about this? Why? There's real suffering happening right now. Do you know that? Did you know that there are children starving in Africa right now? And you're wasting your time on this useless bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, it's just, I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it.
Most people don't realize this, but the vast majority of our success is due to just copying what other people have done in the past. This process is so ingrained in the way that we think, and so commonly leads to the correct answer or the correct behavior, that it's kind of funny to point out when it causes people to do things that make no logical sense.
Let me show you something. This is a normal harbor in Iceland. And as you can see, the edge line is painted yellow and the box is gray. Let's see another harbor. Yellow line, gray box. And when I was young and stupid, I was hired by my hometown harbor to paint one of those lines yellow. And because I was young and stupid, I did everything I could to make the job easier. Like putting the paint can on the box while I was painting. And as you would expect, I bumped into the paint can, spilling yellow paint all over the gray box. So again, me being young and stupid, I just painted the box yellow, thinking nobody's gonna notice. And here's that box today. Yes, they keep painting it yellow. And as I showed you at the start, It's not every harbor that does this, just this one. And it's actually been so long that they probably don't even know why they paint the boxes yellow. It's just something they do now.
Welcome to human nature. We have a giant set of...
Okay, but like, what was the point of that?
Wait, cut the bullshit. He literally said at the start of the video that traditional values was a virtue signal. And here he is virtue signaling about traditional values.
Wait, he did say that. You're right. That was one of his phrases that he was using when talking about, like, virtue signaling. You're right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I expect hypocrisy at this point, so it's not, like, surprising. It's just, like, yeah, he is talking about, like, traditional values. So he is virtue signaling by his own definition.
Effective learned behaviors that most people don't understand. They just do them because that's what's always been done. This actually describes most of your behaviors. So the goal of someone who is trying to destroy things is to confuse and replace these effective traditions or passed down behaviors with something else that is...
Yeah, but like behaviors change over time to improve lives, you know? Like if we had it your way, we'd like be still living in pre-fire times. Like we wouldn't have discovered fire because, oh no, we can't rub two sticks together. It makes sparks and the sparks are scary. And I touched one once and it burned me. So like we can't use it for anything ever at all. Like you can't just like go off of fifis. You're going off of fifis. You feel like this is wrong, and that's why you're saying it's wrong. You don't actually have any evidence for it. You're just like trying to justify it with like common sense logic or whatever.
Is broken and not effective. This is why they try to force you to say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas.
No! Not the war on Christmas. No. No, it's not even close to Christmas. It's like the farthest away you can possibly be. It's like April. I can't do this right now. This was uploaded a month ago. You're talking about the war on Christmas in March, man? That's crazy work.
They tried to ruin Halloween by saying that wearing a costume is offensive cultural appropriation. They're trying to erase traditions that bring people together. This is also why authoritarian regimes try to get rid of things like...
Are you and that other white chick wearing kimonos? You white people need to stop taking Japanese culture. Like, okay, I get that, like, there's some woke virtue signaling. I'm not denying that. But, like, it's just... it doesn't matter to me. They're coming from a good place. They ultimately just want people to be respected, and I get that. So, like, whatever.
Traditions that bring people together. This is also why authoritarian regimes try to get rid of things like Christian churches. Forget whether you believe in God.
That's not happening.
You want to know one of the biggest factors destroying the family right now? It's not because of hypergamous female nature or past...
Hypergamous female nature. We must address the hypergamous female nature occurring right now in this species. Yes. Dude, who fucking, like, honestly, like... she has a kink for like nerds, right? Like his wife does. Like she has to, because this is crazy shit. This is crazy. Like she has a kink for like disgusting weird nerds. It has to be that.
Sport bros. It's because people stop going to church. Church is a place that people go to on a regular basis to share values and socialize with their local community, which these days is almost unheard of, as everyone's social activity now occurs mostly through the internet. You're also around a bunch of marriage-minded people who can help you through tough relationship issues, instead of your idiot single friends who push you to break up or divorce at any slight insult. And
marriage-minded people. Instead of those friends of yours who are telling you that your husband's abusing you and you need to leave for your own safety and your child's safety. Like telling you that like it's not normal that he comes home and drinks a bunch and then like smacks you. Telling you that they're worried about you because like, you know, you have a bruise on your eye and you're worried about the safety of your child and you can't stop talking about it or thinking about it and you're not getting into sleep because of it. Like don't listen to your friend saying that. Stay with the guy, actually. Stay with him because reasons.
And you're around a community whose base values are forgiveness and helping others. The God stuff doesn't matter. This is what matters, and it's why authoritarians hate and constantly shit on religion and try to replace it with worship of the government, to the extent where not everyone, but a significant number of the people without religion just end up being a bunch of crazy morons who constantly crash out over people merely disagreeing with them.
Why do you feel the need to do that? Why do you feel the need to do that? Why do you feel the need to tear our posters down?
Because I don't like them.
Why?
What do the posters say? What do the posters say? American comeback?
Why Why do you feel the need to do
Yeah, the American Comeback Tour. Oh, this is like from Charlie Kirk, white supremacist Charlie Kirk. Yeah, f him. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, tear it down. Tear it down. Who gives a shit? This isn't a matter of like disagreeing. Like Charlie Kirk literally just doesn't want to feed children. F that guy. Yeah, tear it down.
do you feel the need
Tear it
to
down.
tear posters
Fuck that
down?
guy.
Because I don't like them.
Why?
Yeah, queen shit. I assume queen shit. I don't know. I don't know their gender.
These posters were apparently for a Charlie Kirk event. Now, I know nothing about Charlie Kirk outside of him being a conservative, but this chick can't even articulate why
Dude, you know nothing about Charlie Kirk? Look it up! Look it up! Maybe there's a good reason this person is tearing off the Charlie Kirk posters. Oh, by the way, I'm a centrist. Durr! I can't do any actual research on, like, white supremacists. Durr! I don't know anything about Charlie Kirk or why anybody would dislike him. Ooh, like, what the f are you talking? Are you serious right now? Are you actually serious right now? That is crazy work, brother. Crazy work.
she doesn't like him.
I don't know who Charlie Kirk is or why she doesn't like him, but I can only assume that she's a woke liberal dumbass, and Charlie Kirk is actually an upstanding citizen who doesn't advocate for like the eradication of trans people or anything, right? Good shit.
And I feel like every day I see multiples of these ridiculous crash outs or people acting like it's the apocalypse.
I want to thank all you people out there for voting this individual in. Thanks so much, because guess what? I live in a rural community, and now I know I can't simply leave my house. Thanks so much, guys. I'm going to be underground. You guys won't hear from me again. Bye, guys.
So Trump getting into office was...
I mean, people are literally being deported for their like political opinions. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's bad out there. It's bad out there. Like they haven't hit citizens yet, but you know, they could. What's stopping them? Actually, the Supreme Court might. But that's beside the point. Like they tried. They really did try to start deporting citizens.
Was so monumental that in just a few weeks, it turned everyone in your community into a bunch of dangerous predators who you have to hide from? That's strange because when I step outside my house, it's like nothing has changed.
Spoilers, he forgets to show real alpha male. Well, I know it's going to read this later, but I'll just read it. Also to do base shit, the Unf America tour is following Charlie Kirk's tour to de-radicalize them, hopefully. That's pretty cool. Thank you for another 45 biddies. Appreciate you. Didn't expect to see you at 2 in the morning. It's almost 5, dumbass. What are you talking about?
It's always some white man in my DMs who is just like, if only you didn't hate on Trump, then maybe I could show you a good time.
Ew.
Stay away from me, white man!
I mean, yeah, that was... it was a little interesting. But, like, I don't care. Yeah, queen shit. I just don't care.
But now we have the daily crash out videos, and we have modern Democrats being so out of touch that they think that acting like they're in the battle screen of a turn-based RPG will win them votes. Good news for Hillary. 2 worst crimes you can commit on the internet are 1, being cringe, and 2, being a woman. And if you're both, then, like, yeah, you deserve the death penalty, actually. Like it's literally like that. Like, 1, being cringe, and 2, being a woman. And if you're a trans woman, well, I mean, that's just, you know, that's like the 2 to 3 worst crimes you can commit on the internet. People will just get mad at you for it. It's just like, I'm not that mad. Like it's cringe, sure, but like I just like, it's not like why? Like there's so many other. Did you know that there are children starving in Africa, man? I'm just saying, like there's so many other issues to worry about. I don't fucking care. I don't care. On the battle screen of a turn-based RPG will win them votes. Good news for Hillary Clinton, though, because someone has finally done something more cringe than Pokemon Go to the polls.
It's giving it. So Sigma, main character energy.
I love her. This is not cringe, and if you call her cringe, you're banned.
Negative aura points.
So a lot of damage has been done to people's intelligence and wisdom by breaking traditions and changing words. Ultimately, these cultural norms and traditions help you develop your self-concept because a major part of that is created through your experiences with other people. And the big issue...
Dude, can you just say that you hate trans people? Just say it. Just say it, okay? I'm so tired of like people just dancing around the point. Just say that you hate trans people, and maybe you can start working on yourself then. Maybe you can start tackling like what's really bothering you, okay? Like the fact that you're an insecure piece of shit, all right? Like what's really bothering you that makes you want to hurt other people and like put out stupid shit like this? Like you really need to work on yourself. Why are you still awake? Don't question me. Just edit my shit, okay? Excuse you.
Is that if you need to make changes for the better and you have a poor self-concept, nothing will happen until you change how you perceive yourself. For example, if you feel like you're a failure and that's how you identify, then you will actually avoid making changes that alter that self-concept. This applies to things as small as believing that you're the type of person who can't fix things around the house, and to things as big as believing that you're the type of person who can't...
Okay, I'm done. I don't feel like watching the last 30 seconds. Been a while since we visited that guy. Always a treasure trove of information and just really good points. He makes really good points.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits, such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.